Hello everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. In this video we're going to learn how to send license key on Stripe payment from Google Sheets. So I'm an owner of a business in which I sell softwares to my customers. So to have the access of the software, they require the unique license key from my site. I have created a record of the unique license keys in my Google Sheets. I collect the payment of the software being purchased by my customers using Stripe. So here what I want is that as soon as by any of my customers a purchase is going to be done with the help of Stripe, with the help of Google Sheets record that I've created, the customer should receive the unique license key with the help of Gmail as an email, okay? And for that, if I'm going to do this manually, it is going to take me a lot of time. So what I did was I simply created an automation using Pabbly Connect, which is an amazing automation and integration software. So here in this automation, what we are going to learn is that whenever by any of my customer, the software is going to be purchased and the payment is going to be captured using Stripe. Firstly, from the record of the license key, the unique license key that we have created in our Google Sheets, we are going to get the unique license key. As we're going to get the license key, we want to send an email to the customer who have done the payment using Stripe while doing the purchase on their Gmail account. And as the email is forwarded, I want to update the row of the license key status in my Google Sheets. And for that, we're going to create an automation between all of these applications with the help of Pabbly Connect. So if you want to learn about this amazing automation, then let me take you all to my screen. Welcome to my screen. In this video, we're going to learn how to send license key on Stripe payments from Google Sheets. So I own a business that sells software, and every time a customer pays through Stripe, they need a unique license key to activate their product. I store all the keys, the unique license keys, in my Google Sheets, where each key has a status either not linked, ready to use, or linked, already sent to the customer. Instead of checking the sheet and finding the key and sending it manually every time, I have automated this entire process with the help of Pabbly Connect. So now, whenever a customer makes a payment through Stripe, it finds a key in my sheet that hasn't been linked to anyone, sends it directly to the customer's Gmail, and then updates the status of the key to linked so that I can keep the track of all my unique license keys. This way, I never have to worry about double sending a key, and my customers get their licenses immediately after purchase. And we are going to be creating this amazing automation with the help of Pabbly Connect. So on the screen, you can see the website of Pabbly Connect, that is pabbly.com/connect. After browsing this website, we need to sign in to our Pabbly Connect account. But if you're a new user, you can sign up for free and get 108 free tasks every month. So as I'm an existing user, I'm going to sign in to my Pabbly Connect account. After signing in, you can see the All Pabbly Apps window in front of you, in which you can see the 5 applications of Pabbly, from which we are going to select Pabbly Connect by clicking on Access Now. Then Pabbly Connect's dashboard is going to appear in front of you. In order to start an automation process in Pabbly Connect, we need to create a workflow. For that, click on this top right corner button right over here that says Create Workflow. A dialog box is then going to appear in front of you, which is asking for the workflow name and for us to select a folder. So for the name of my workflow, I'm going to give it as Send license key on Stripe payment from Google Sheets. So this is the name that I want to give to my workflow. After that, it is asking for us to select a folder. So on the left side of my screen, you can see I've created multiple folders in my Pabbly Connect account, from which I'm going to select a specific folder in which I want to save this workflow in. For that, click on this drop down. So these are the folders from which I'm going to select Stripe Automations as the folder I want to save this workflow in. After giving a name to a workflow and selecting the folder, let's click on Create. In order to create a workflow is created in the name of Send License Key on Stripe Payment from Google Sheets, and there are two windows in front of you. One over here says Trigger, other says Action. Trigger and Action are the two most important steps of our automation process, because our process depends on these two concepts. Over here, Trigger says when this happens and Action says do this. That means our action is response towards our trigger. In an automation process, there can be only one trigger step but multiple action steps. We're going to set up our trigger step first. And for the trigger application, what we are going to do is we are going to select it as Stripe. As with the help of Stripe, I'm collecting the payments from my customers while they are purchasing the software that I'm selling for my business. So here what I want is that as soon as with the help of Stripe, whenever a payment is going to be done by any of my customers, automatically Pabbly Connect should capture the response. That is why for the trigger application, I've selected it as Stripe. And for the trigger event, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select it as new charge, so that whenever a new purchase is going to be done with the help of Stripe, automatically Pabbly Connect should capture the response. After selecting the trigger application and the event, you can see that Pabbly Connect has provided us with a webhook URL. With the help of this unique webhook URL, we are going to connect Stripe to Pabbly Connect by following the steps given here below in the help desk. Okay, so firstly I'm going to copy this URL from here. After copying the URL, I'm going to open my Stripe account and I'm going to show you how you can connect Stripe to Pabbly Connect with the help of this webhook URL. For that, open your Stripe account. I have already logged into my Stripe account and you can see this account is in the test mode right now. Okay, I'm using my Stripe account in test mode to do the test payments. But if you have a live account with Stripe, then you have to connect your Stripe account with Pabbly Connect in the similar manner by following the steps which I'm going to tell you. Okay. So as you can see that I've already logged into my Stripe account right over here, and on the top right corner over here you can see it says developers. I'm going to click on the developers button. After coming to developers, from this bar we have to click on this webhooks button right over here. Okay, as we're going to do that, you can see the webhooks page is then going to appear in front of you, and over here it says add endpoint. We're going to click on this button. As we're going to do that, it is asking for the endpoint URL. So for the endpoint URL, I'm going to paste the endpoint URL, that is the webhook URL that Pabbly Connect has provided us. Okay, next it is asking for the list too. I'm going to select as event on your account. It is asking for the version. You need to select the latest API version right over here. Okay, from the drop down. Next it is asking for us to select the event. So in the help desk right over here you can see it says for the event we have to select it as charge succeeded. You can see right over here. So what I'm going to do is for the event over here I'm going to select it as charge succeeded. So in this charge category there is one event right away, that is charge succeeded. So I'm going to select this from here and I'm going to click on add event. You can see the event charge succeeded has been added. After filling all the required details, I'm going to click on this add endpoint button. As you can see right over here, webhook is now successfully added in my Stripe account and the status comes as enabled right over here. As the webhook is now successfully added, I'm going to go back to my workflow. It is saying waiting for webhook response. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do a dummy payment using Stripe by purchasing a product that we are selling, and we're going to check whether Pabbly Connect captures the response of the payment being done using Stripe or not. For that, I'm going to open my Stripe account again. From the left side of the panel, I'm going to click on the payment links right over here. So this is the product that I'm selling, that is Pab Audio Extractor. This is the software that I'm selling, and to have the access of the software, the customers who are going to purchase it needs a license key. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to purchase this product right over here. For that, I'm going to open this product from here. Okay, so this is the product that I'm selling and this is the payment link of this product. So I'm going to copy it from here and open it in a new tab right over here. So this is the product that I'm selling. As you can see right over here, it is asking for the contact information and all the details. We're going to fill in the details. Firstly, for the email over here, I'm going to write it as testuser@pabblytunes.com. Okay, then for the phone number over here I'm going to write in a dummy mobile number. It is asking for the first name. For the first name over here I'm going to write it as demo. For the last name over here I'm going to write it as test55. Over here for the card number I'm going to write in a dummy card number. For the expiry I'm going to write in a dummy expiry. For the CVV, I'm going to write in a dummy CVV. For the card holder's name, I'm going to write it as demo test 55, country as India. And for the address, I'm going to write it. For the city over here, I'm going to write it as Indore. For the pin code over here, I'm going to write in a dummy pin code right over here. Okay. And for the state over here, I'm going to select it as Madhya Pradesh. After filling in all the required details, I'm going to click on this pay button right over here. As this is a test payment, the payment is going to be done immediately. Okay. You can see it says thank you for your payment. So now the payment has done. You can see it's in a test mode. The payment has now been done. So now I'm going to open my workflow that I've created and I'm going to check whether Pabbly Connect has captured the response of the payment that is done using Stripe or not. For that, I'm going to open my workflow that I've created and I'm going to scroll down, and yes, you can see right away we've received the response of the payment being done right over here. Okay, let's tally the response. Over here we have the ID of the payment that is done. The status comes as succeeded, as you can see right over here. We have the receipt of the payment. You can see right over here that is done. The method comes as card right over here. The payment is done by demo test 55. Email comes right over here with the state as MP, the pin code, the address, country, city, the amount that is done with all the other details. So now as Stripe is connected to Pabbly Connect, our trigger setup is done. done. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to set up our action step. As I have created multiple payment links, as you can see right over here in my Stripe account, these are the multiple payment links right over here, and with the help of all these links the payments can be done by my customers. But here specifically I want to send license keys to the Stripe payment that is done, as the purchase of this product specifically, that is Pab Audio Extractor, is going to be done using Stripe. Then only what should happen is this workflow should be executed. So what we are going to do is we're going to set up our action step, and for the action application I'm going to select the amazing feature by Pabbly Connect, that is filter by Pabbly, with the help of which we can filter out the values that we want. So for the action event I'm going to select as filter values. After selecting the action application and the event, I'm going to click on this connect button. As we're going to click on the connect button, you can see right away it is asking for to select the label, the filter type and the value. So for the label over here, I'm going to select this label of the payment price, that is right away the amount of the payment that is going to be done. Okay, as the payment price right away is going to be unique for all the products that I'm selling in my Stripe account. So that is why for the select label over here, I'm going to select it as the amount of the payment that is done. So where you can see this is the amount of the object. So I'm going to select this amount right over here for the select label part. Should be equal to, you can see for the amount it is not 1500, it comes with 2 extra zeros. So where for the value over here I'm going to write it as 1500 with 2 extra zeros. So now whenever a payment is going to be captured in our Pabbly Connect workflow, whenever payment is going to be done through Stripe and Pabbly Connect captures the response, only this workflow is going to be executed when the amount of the payment is going to be equal to this amount right over here. Okay, if the amount is going to be lesser or higher, it's not equal to the same amount, then this workflow is not going to be executed even if the payment is done by Stripe by any of our customers. Okay, so this is the filter that I've set up. Then I'm going to click on the save and send test request button. As I'm going to do that, the status comes as success and the message comes as condition is true. So this filter has now been successfully applied to this workflow that I've created. Okay, so as now the filter has been applied, now what I want is I have created a record of all the license keys in my Google Sheets. Okay, you can see these are the multiple license keys record that I've created in my Google Sheets, and you can see next to the license keys is the status of the key that I have created a record of in my Google Sheets. Okay, there are two types of statuses, that is linked and not linked. Linked mean this key is already been forwarded to the customer who have done the purchase. Okay, and not linked means this is a fresh key, it has not been used yet. So this is a unique key and I want to send this unique key, that's the status of not linked key, should be forwarded to my customer. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to add another action step to this workflow for that, and for the action application we are going to select it as Google Sheets, as I have created a record of all the license keys in my Google Sheets. So that is why I'm going to select my action application as Google Sheets, and for the action event I'm going to select as lookup spreadsheet rows v2, as we want to get this license key from this spreadsheet right over here. So that is why we are going to apply, we're going to select our action event as lookup spreadsheet rows v2, and then click on this connect button. A new window is going to appear on which click on add new connection, or else you can select the existing connection. After that, click on sign in with Google button. A new window is then going to appear in front of you which is asking for a permission, so I'm going to click on this allow button. As the save process in my data is perfectly saved with Pabbly Connect, so I'm going to click on this allow button. As you can see that Google Sheets is now successfully connected to Pabbly Connect. After connecting, it is asking for us to select a spreadsheet. So I've created a spreadsheet in the name of license keys, as you can see right over here. So for the spreadsheet over here, I'm going to select it as license keys. Okay. After selecting the spreadsheet, it is asking for us to select a sheet. So I've created a single sheet in the name of sheet 1, as you can see right over here. So what I'm going to do is for the sheet over here, I'm going to select it as sheet 1. After that, it is asking for the lookup value. To which value do we have to look up to in this spreadsheet right over here? I want to look up to the value of the status of the key, as according to the status of the key is going to be forwarded to my customers. So I am going to look up to the status right over here, okay, of the keys that I have in my Google Sheets as a record. So what I'm going to do is for the lookup value over here, I'm going to write it as not linked. Okay, as I want the status of the key should be equal to not linked, that is why for the lookup value I've written it as not linked. Okay, next it is asking for the lookup columns. So over here, this is the column in which the status of the keys are been recorded. So what I'm going to do is, for the lookup column over here, I'm going to select it as column B right over here. Okay, so I'm going to select it over here, the column B. Next it is asking for the end column of the data. End column of the data is the last column data that you want to be captured in your response. I want the last data of the status right over here. So what I'm going to do is, for the end column data, I'm going to write it as column B again. Okay, after that it is asking for the lookup as date and all the other details. I do not require the field, so I'm going to skip the part. It is asking for the sort rows. For the sort rows, I'm going to select it from the top, as I want the data to be picked up from the top right over here. Okay, after filling in all the required details, I'm going to click on the save and send test request button. As I'm going to do that, you can see we have received a response right over here. Okay, in the response we have received the row index as 6, and with the row index we have received the keys, the unique keys that we want to send, the license keys that we want to send to our customers with the status as not linked. You can see right over here, these are all the keys with the status as not linked. You can see right over here, not linked, not linked. So these are all the unique keys that we have now. As now we have the data of the unique keys, we want to send these unique keys as an email to our customers on their Gmail account. So we're going to add another action step to this workflow, and for the action application over here, I'm going to select it as Gmail, as with the help of Gmail I want to send the emails to my customers who have done the payment using Stripe. After selecting the action application as Gmail, for the action event I'm going to select as send email v1, as now we're going to send the email to our customers, and then I'm going to click on this connect button. A new window is going to appear in front of you, in which click on add new connection, or else you can select the existing connection. After that, click on connect with Gmail. As we're going to do that, a new window is then going to appear in front of you, which is asking for a permission. So I'm going to click on allow, as the save process of my data is perfectly saved with Pabbly Connect. So I'm going to click on this allow button. As you can see that we successfully authorized Gmail to Pabbly Connect. After authorizing, it is asking for the recipient email address. To which email address do we want to send an email to? So for the data of the recipient email address, I am going to map the data. Mapping means inserting data from the previous step. So we're going to insert the data from the previous step of this workflow. And how mapping works is that as soon as I'm going to click on this field, you can see these were the previous step of this workflow right over here. As I need the email, the customer's email of done the payment to whom we want to send an email to. So for the email over here, from the search bar, I'm going to search for the email. You can see in the previous response, we've received the data of the email of our customer right over here. So from my previous response, I'm going to select this data right over here. As I've selected the data from my previous response, the data is mapped, and as I map the data has now become dynamic. That means whenever a new response is going to be captured in our previous step, automatically the new data is going to be updated in place of this mapped data. It is asking for the CC and the BCC part. I do not require the field, so I'm going to skip the part. After that, it is asking for the sender's name. So for the sender's name over here, I'm going to write it as Team Pabbly Connect. So this is the sender's name. Okay. Next, it is asking for the email subject. This is the email subject that we want to send to our customers. So for the email subject over here, I'm going to write it as. So for the email subject, I've written it as your software license key for Pab audio extractor. So this is the email subject that I want. Okay. After that, it is asking for the reply to. I do not require the field, so I'm going to skip the part. It is asking for the email content type. The email content that you're going to enter in this field is going to be the type that you have to select from this drop down. As I'm going to write it in a plain text, I'm going to select the email content type as plain. Okay. After that, it is asking for the email content. This is the main body of the email that we're going to send to our customers who have done the payment through Stripe. So for the email content over here, I'm going to write it as. So this is the email content that I've written. As you can see right over here, it says hello. Next to hello, it is asking for the customer name who have done the payment. So for the name over here, I'm going to map the data of the name of my customer. That is right over here. Okay. It says, thank you for purchasing Pab audio extractor. We are excited to have you on board. Here is your unique license key to activate the software. It is asking for the license key. So for the license key over here, I'm going to map the data of the first key that we have received in this step. So this is the first key that we have received. I'm going to map the data of of that key right over here. It says to get started, follow these steps, download the software, enter the license key during installation to activate. If you have any questions or need assistance, feel free to reply to the email and contact our support team at demo@pabblytunes.com. Thank you again for your purchase. Best regards, Team Pabbly Connect. So this is the email that I want to send as a main content to my customers who have done the payment with the license key. Okay. After that, it is asking for the file name and the attachment. I do not require the field, so I'm going to skip the part, and then I'm going to click on this save and send test request button. As I'm going to do that, we're going to receive a response and the status comes as send right over here. As the status comes as send, I'm going to open my Gmail and I'm going to check whether I've received a new email with the license key or not. For that, I'm going to open my Gmail account. And yes, you can see right away I've received the new email on my Gmail account with the email subject as your software license key for Pab audio extractor. Hello demo test 55. This was the customer's name who have done the payment. Thank you for purchasing the Pab audio extractor. And over here we've received the unique license key. As you can see right over here, this is the unique license key that we have received. So this means that Gmail is now successfully connected to Pabbly Connect. Okay. So now whenever a payment is going to be done using Stripe with the help of Google Sheets, firstly we're going to get the unique license key, and then that key is going to be forwarded as an email to my customers on their Gmail account. Okay, but now here's what comes is that this key right over here on the 6th row, you can see this key is now been forwarded as an email. You can see right over, this is the same key. So now what is going to happen, the status of this key comes as not linked, but this is not true because this is already been forwarded to one of my customers. So now what we're going to do is we're going to update the status of not linked to linked right over here, so that we cannot send a same key twice to our customers. Okay, so now what we're going to do is for that we're going to add another action step in this workflow, and for the action application over here I'm going to select it as Google Sheets, as now I want to update a row in my Google Sheets. And for the action event I'm going to select it as update row, as now I want to update the value of this row right over here. Okay, after selecting the action application and the event, I'm going to click on this connect button. A new window is going to appear in front of you on which I'm going to select the existing connection, but if you want you can add a new connection, and then I'm going to click on the save button. As the connection has now been done, it is asking for the spreadsheet that we want to update. So for the spreadsheet, I'm going to select it as license keys, and for the sheet, I'm going to select as sheet 1. Okay. So for the spreadsheet, I'm going to select as license keys right over here, and for the sheet over here, I'm going to select as sheet 1. Okay. After that, it is asking for the row index. What row do you want to update in this spreadsheet right over here? So for the row index, we have received the row index right over here of the key that we have collected right away. So this is the row index. I'm going to map the data of this row index. Okay. It is asking for the license key, status, and the email. So as I want to update the status right over here, so as I want to update it to linked right over here, so I'm going to write the status as linked. Okay. Next, it is asking for the email if the license key is already been delivered. So as over here you can see this key is delivered to a customer, I want to map that data. I want to enter the data of the email of that customer right over here. Okay. So what I'm going to do is over here I'm going to map the data of the email of my customer, as the key is already been used. So I'm going to map the data of the email of my customer right over here. Okay. After filling in all the required details, I'm going to click on this save and send test request button. As I've done that, you can see we've received a response, which is a positive response. So now I'm going to open my Google Sheets, and yes, you can see right over here this 6th row key is now status comes as linked, and we have received the email also right over here. So this means that we successfully created an automation between all of these applications with the help of Pabbly Connect. So now to sum up till now what we have done, I am an owner of a business in which I sell a software to all of my customers and I collect the payment through Stripe. In order to have the access of the software, all my customers require a license key. I've created a record of all those license key in my Google Sheets, and there are unique license keys. Okay. So here what I want is that as soon as many of my customers a payment is going to be done with the help of Stripe, I want to send that customer a unique license key from my Google Sheet. As the payment has now been captured in my Pabbly Connect, you can see right over here for the payment that is done through Stripe. With the help of Google Sheets, we have taken out the license key, the unique license key, and then we have forwarded that license key on our customer's Gmail account. As the key has now been forwarded to my customer, I wanted to update the status of that used key right over here in the spreadsheet. So I've updated the row on my Google Sheets as well. And for that, we have created this amazing automation between all of these applications with the help of Pabbly Connect. So if you like this video, please subscribe to our channel, hit on the like button, comment on if you have any questions or doubts, and please share this video. Not just with these applications, you can create automation with the help of Pabbly Connect between multiple applications. If you have any doubts, you can send us email on support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can ask your queries on forum.pabbly.com. If you have any queries regarding the pricing of Pabbly Connect, then you can check out this link. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel, hit on the like button, comment down below if you have any questions and doubts, and please share this video, and thank you for watching.